Yo. That delay funny.
Sit off, 180 in your face and spit off. All my dogs throw it up and feel this pain with me. I control heat, your cold feet remain frozen. That's them same slow leaks that got my old name stolen. I'm Hussein, flying down a 4-5 in 2 lanes, red fitted and blue chain, doing out of these 2 things. Hustle and be hustle, tussle when these cuff you. They sheaves cut you down when they around and your knees buckle. Popped up, whopped up, Glock cocked up, learned your game chopped up, came to shook shop up. I took money, gave them hard, recruit crooks for me. Keep my finger on the strap, so the gap look ugly. These need money, they squeezing and bleed for me. At spraying time, they declining by the threes for me. Always said the game would be good to me. If it ain't about the flame, then what should it be? Could it be? Got the will to see. When the clock strikes, well, we'll see. Always said the game would be good to me. If it ain't about the fame, then what should it be? Could it be? Got the will to see.
What's good, beautiful people? Welcome to the podcast, Two Vegetarians Eating Chicken. It's your boy, Mr. Lingo himself.
Like it or not, it's your boy, Fly Sweaty KJ, who always got something to say. Like, I got it right.
Yeah, you got it right that time. I'm glad you did. Finally, you feel me? What's good, Chicago, man? We very excited to be here broadcasting live. Yeah. What's in it for the black people? Thank you for having us. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep these on because I need to hear myself. Yeah, it's long overdue. You know what I'm saying? We finally in the building. You feel me?
On their anniversary day.
On their anniversary day. Yeah, it's tomorrow, too.
I think it's our anniversary day.
It's y'all. It's y'all. Yeah.
No, y'all part of the family now. You know what I'm saying? You're in the building.
Yeah, you right. Thank you.
There it is.
Our anniversary day. You know, we new to the team. You know what I'm saying? It's happening at the Woodlawn tomorrow from 6 to 11?
AM.
6 to 11 a.m.
AM. Make sure you know it's the AM, 6 to 11.
The AM joint. Yeah, we're gonna have to slide through and see what the AM joint crew be like. You know what I'm saying? What's in it for the black people? Happy anniversary. 2 vegetarians eating chicken. We very excited about this opportunity to be a part of the family. Again, I'm Mr. Lingo himself.
It's your boy, Fly KJ.
And we gonna chop it up with y'all, man. We appreciate y'all joining. You know what I'm saying? We see some of the comments coming in. Yeah, Bill Cosby out. We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it later. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, somebody comment say Bill Cosby out. Yeah, we go talk about it later. But yeah, a little bit about us. I'm from Chicago, born and raised, West Side. You know, KJ, where you from?
I'm from both, West and South.
You got to claim one, boy. What you mean from both?
I'm in the middle, man. I'm in the middle. I grew up West Side. I was raised South Side though.
That's fair. Me and my brother KJ been rocking since 2012.
2012, but we always had we stayed in similar places.
Yeah, we always kind of had a connection.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
In similar places. Just never in contact though, but we stayed in similar places.
For really quick before we dive into the 2 vegetarians eating chicken story, make sure y'all go follow us on Facebook, 2 vegetarians eating chicken, IG 2VEC podcast, the number 2 VEC podcast, Twitter 2VEC podcast. We got a TikTok as well, which we need to keep. I posted the other day. We got to start making some TikToks. You know what I'm saying?
It's the same 2VEC podcast.
It is. So it's the same 2VEC podcast. You know, we super excited again about this opportunity to be a part of the family over here at What's in It for the Black People. If y'all want to be a guest on the show, we got some open slots in July. Please make sure y'all hit us up via email or through any of those platforms. But the email is 2vegetarianseatingchicks at gmail.com. CHIX at gmail.com.
There you go.
But yeah, so me and KJ been rocking since 2013, 2012, something like that. And we used to always debate about everything, man. We used to talk about, battle rap, music.
Sports.
Things that's going on in the world, work, complaining about shit, Got you. Okay, yep. Hey, this our first day. I love it. We troubleshooting, we doing all, but we live. So you feel me? We here with it. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But so we used to talk about, man, we gonna do a podcast one of these days. You know what I'm saying?
That's where it all started.
That's where it all started. And then the pandemic happened. You know what I'm saying? And we
life happened.
Well, life happened.
So back in let's go back.
Yeah, I just fast forward.
Yeah, you just skipped everything.
Talking to Mike a little bit. Yeah.
I'm always back. All right, so back in 2012, then I ended up moving north.
That's right, you
which
did live up north.
Ended up separating us, and we didn't have so much close contact. And then after that part, we finally reconnected during the pandemic, and then we put back everything else. And so what they say, if you let it go and then it comes back as meant to be, there you go. So
it was definitely meant to be. So fast forward to 2020. That's when the pandemic first happened, right?
When it started, November, 2020.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot to do. You know what I'm saying? So KJ reached out with the brilliant name, hey, we need to get this podcast going. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah, well, let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And he had a name, 2 Vegetarians Eating Chicken. And my immediate response to that, I just bust up laughing because it was hilarious. And every time we tell people what the podcast name is, they start laughing because it's like vegetarians don't eat chicken and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But anyway,
contradictory as well though. And so,
it is.
So we were vegetarian at some point, both of us, in different points of our lives.
In our defense,
last year I tried to do the whole vegan vegetarian thing. It just wasn't for me, man. I like vegetables on the side.
So we eat chicken every show. Every time we broadcasting.
You can highlight and see our beautiful chicken that's down there. We are not giving out any sponsorships right now, but if you know a chicken place that needs a sponsorship, please hit us up in the DMs or on Gmail.
Harold's or Uncle Remus? It's always a question, right?
Harold's with the sauce, Uncle Remus with the chicken.
Really?
Depending on which Uncle Remus you go to, though. And the same way with Harold's, though, because Harold's sometimes they be having sauce. I went to Harold's, got some barbecue sauce downtown, and they gave me, barbecue sauce.
Like Sweet Baby Ray's?
Like Sweet Baby Ray's.
That's funny as
like,
hell.
take that, bro. You can get that shit back. I want to.
So for me, I could do either or. I think I've never been one or the other, but there's always been Harold's everywhere I've lived. So I've always had to like travel to go actually get some Uncle Raymond's. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, that's fair to each his own. You know what I'm saying? What they talking about in the comments? Is it Harold's or Uncle Raymond's? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, basically, man, with the show, we gonna bring a lot of content. We gonna have guests on the show every other week. We got a dope lineup for July. We got some artists coming through. We just like to talk about controversial shit, you know? And so we gonna have, typically every time we do the show, we gonna have a list of questions and things that we want to talk about, and we gonna love to interact with, you know, people who already been supporting the podcast, and then new people coming along, whether that's through What's in It for the Black People, or people who are starting to follow What's in It for the Black People. But regardless, we excited to be here. Let's dive into some of these questions, man.
Let's go ahead.
Yeah, cool. So, if everything is okay, how will we determine what's bad? I like that question, by the way, because it's been an interesting week. It was even an interesting day. But if everything is okay, how will we determine what's bad? You want to kick it off?
It's an interesting.
What's up, Mary? How you feeling?
Interesting concept. I think that where it comes from is that as we see the world just be more accepting of everything, no one is really criticizing, right? And so then you see people like RP. If you don't know what RP is, Red Pill. We do a lot of Red Pill gang. We are not Red Pill gang. We are Purple gang.
Red Pill, he Purple gang. Don't be putting me in that category, boy. Red Pill gang.
It's not. It's Purple gang. If you don't know what Purple gang is Purple gang even a thing?
It's a thing.
All right, so Purple gang is red and blue, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of Red Pill conversation. If you don't know what Red Pill is, just do your research. Or you can go back to the two vegetarians eating chicken.
Follow the YouTube too, man.
You can also follow and see our conversations, and it'll give you some insight on what Red Pill is. But the only thing that's getting flack right now is Red Pill because it's so like misogynistic.
Why they
right?
ain't know me?
Or it's so male centered, right? But it's the opposite of what the world is pushing to, which is more of a female and like feminine culture. So with everything being accepted, like what is going to be like the breaking point where someone says like, we can't allow this, and when will that be okay?
Random. I got 2 cents to chime in, but Soulja Boy just popped in my head. Did you see the Soulja Boy and Bow Wow versus?
I've been seeing that weak ass meme. That was the finger.
It was pretty decent. I had to go back and watch it because I think I was DJing that day or something. But it was pretty entertaining. Soulja Boy's always been pretty entertaining individual. But anyway, if everything is okay, how will we determine what's bad? You know what? Like, when I think about this question, I think about when somebody asks you, how you doing? How you been? And the typical response is, I'm okay.
That's weird because that's not even where I was going with it.
But see, that's where my mind automatically went to, right? So it's like, if we get so used to, and not that you need to tell, like, obviously, if I don't know a person, like, I'm not finna tell them all the shit that's going on with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if a random person on the street asks me if I'm okay, I'm just gonna be like, oh, I'm cool. Or if they ask me how I'm doing, I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm okay, I'm cool. You know
so is that more like honesty though, inside of?
Now, if it's somebody I know and somebody I rock with, you feel me? I'm gonna break it down a little more. I'm gonna elaborate. You feel me? I'm gonna tell them what's going on without, spilling my shit over too much. But I'm gonna let them know because they might be able to see that. Nah, bro, you ain't okay. You know what I'm saying? I know you too well to. You feel me? So if it's somebody I know, it might look completely different. But if it's somebody randomly on the street or somebody I know through a mutual person, I'm just gonna be like, I'm okay. You know what I'm saying?
So why would you consider that the bad thing though? Like, why would you like even taking that standpoint? Like, we don't share our business with a lot of people outside of who we know close. So why would we even consider the point of like what would we know is bad? Because we know sometimes, like morally, based off of what you're saying, things aren't okay or what's not okay, right?
Well, I mean, if you think about let's just use us as males, right? As an example, growing up, we used to get told a lot, and probably some still this day. We used to get told, men don't cry, men don't share emotions, and like, you know what I'm saying. So that shit gets bottled up so much that we get so used to just saying I'm okay. You feel me?
Yeah, I mean, I think the negative of that is that, but the positive teaches you how to separate and individualize feelings and emotions.
That's true.
So,
but how often do you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't learned how to really be vulnerable until I like became an adult. I don't remember crying a lot as a shorty because it never used to get taught to me that like you got to share your emotions. You gotta express how you feel. Fair. Like I grew up in a household where it just wasn't really a thing. Like, and I was always just kind of free falling and out and adventurous and doing my thing. So like whenever shit would like happen, I ain't had nobody to come back to the crib and be like, well, this happened or this happened. Besides like my cousins and shit like that. But like, it was just it was a weird dynamic. Like, so I don't know. It's funny. It's interesting.
It is interesting because it also speaks to the non-outlet for there being a black male. Like as a black male, obviously not having an outlet to do something positive or be able to let and release those emotions. So what you have is a bunch of pent up feelings from one person who don't know how to guide them because they've never been taught how, and no one can really guide you down those paths because they don't know that you're struggling.
Right. So
and
it's
like
got
deep quick. Though,
I know, real quick, right?
Wow, wow.
But it be like that with us though, like and so now, so even for me, right? Trying to figure out how to do that with girls, right? So I got girls, and so like I don't have a son, so I don't know how to like, what I'm saying. Well, now I do, but before it would have been a little weird trying to like tell him how to share his emotions if I wasn't even doing that as a shorty. Like literally, I didn't know how to like express that till after 25, bro. Like
that's fair.
Up until then, I was just like. There would be so much bottled up stuff. If somebody would irk me the wrong way, it would just kind of come out negatively. Like, and they don't know because it's like, damn, why you so emotional? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, what, emotional? I don't even know what that is. Like, what you mean? Also, anyway, we ain't got to stay on that too long. Yeah, again, for those who just joining, you know what I'm saying? Gerald, what's good, brother? How you feeling? 2 vegetarians eating chicken. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy, Mr. Lingo himself.
Your boy Fly Sweater KJ.
We excited to be broadcasting live for what's in it for the black people. I gotta get used to saying all of these things. I was so used to saying, our little spiel. But anyway, this is exciting, man. We got some dope topics we gonna continue to talk to y'all about. It's kind of dope just watching this whole space that we in right now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We ain't used to seeing, sound engineers and people in front of us, you know what I'm saying, screens and shit, all type of. It don't, but still, like it's just we used to the one camera just in front of us, like, you know what I'm saying, and so it's just a different vibe. It's a dope vibe, you know what I'm saying. Mary Q said, "Is honesty, and honesty is integrity, and integrity stands. Men and women suffer from lack of vulnerability." Of course, she wrote more. Hold on. It also gives permission for honest experience with others. I agree with that 100%. And vulnerability is true power. And again, it took me a really long time to even just be vulnerable, like, you know what I'm saying, with my seeds, like, you know what I'm saying, like, because they so smart now that, you feel me, they'll let me know what's what, you feel me, and it's just like, oh, I ain't got no choice but to just tell my daughter how I really feel, like, you know what I'm saying, and she'll come right back with, Daddy act like you don't be getting on our nerves, like, oh, okay, shit, say less, like, but what I'm gonna say to that is true, like, you feel me, it's both ways, you know what I'm saying. Oh, that's dope, Gerald, that's a crazy connection. But anyway, you want to jump into this next one?
What we gonna do?
You want to add something to it?
Let's just do a hot topic. Bill Cosby, how you feel about it?
Yeah, we can't
Bill.
do Bill. You know what? I felt
when R. Kelly getting out, and then when the concert coming, because I'm going.
You going to R. Kelly?
Fuck yeah.
So here's the thing. Wait, so is he already out or is he about to get out?
R. Kelly still.
No, I'm talking about Bill.
Bill out. I think he got out last night.
They let him out today. So the thing about the whole Bill Cosby thing, and this is just my personal opinion, and I want to carefully express my opinion about it because I don't want to come off as insensitive to the claims that were made or accusations that were made against him. See, I don't know. It's mad interesting now because it was so much stuff that was like put on him that actually caused him to get locked up and go to prison, et cetera. Because he was found guilty, right, of a bunch of shit, right? So to see them now say that there were things in the case and now the charges are being dropped and all of this stuff, it just makes me, I know my initial thought was, one, it's Bill Cosby. Two, again, this is just my initial thought in my opinion. Why would he need to roofie people or whatever he was doing? Right. Women, why would he need to? Now, again, I don't know Bill Cosby personally. You know what I'm saying? So who's to say he wasn't doing this shit? I don't know. Like, I'm just saying from the outside looking in, from a, celebrity standpoint, I just always viewed Bill Cosby as that, like, father figure on the Cosby Show. Like, you know what I'm saying? I never
viewed him as that, but I get it.
I mean, yeah, when you think about the shows, what was it? Family Matters, Cosby Show, Fresh Prince. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? What else? That won't really a lot on. Who you say?
Rock. The TV show Rock.
Yeah, what the fuck is Rock?
Garbage Man.
Oh, okay. What was that the name of the show? Like, yeah, I don't know.
Rock.
Oh, okay.
Rock.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Man,
yeah.
It came out before Family Matters.
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He also produced The Corner.
Yeah. I know. We had The Corner. But yeah. So I don't know. So obviously something had to be wrong or somebody was.
So I'll tell you what I read because I read a couple different.
Okay, because I haven't read anything yet.
What actually, I guess, what happened is the fact that they told Bill that he needed to confess so he wouldn't go to jail in the civil case suit.
Okay.
And what he told them during the civil case suit, they end up like charging criminal charges for it, even though they struck a deal saying that they wouldn't give him criminal charges. So at the end of the day, it was just pretty much like, hey, if you be honest with me and tell me what you did, I'm going to give you a slap on the wrist. And then he told them what he did, and then they're like, oh, no, bro, you got to go. But at the end of the day, we already made this deal. So now, instead of saying it like, oh, it's a Bill Cosby, blah, 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 it's more like for me, it turned into the justice system quick. Okay. Because you've automatically, we've already agreed on terms, and they just lied. And you only seem to do that with people who look like me or my color.
Yeah, typically.
And so I took that a different way. And so, I personally do not, I have a girl, so I do not want anybody dropping anything in anybody's drink.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just who is the fault behind this? Now, is he responsible for what he did? Yes, he is. But at the same time, 65, 70 people who came out, I can't even remember what I did last week.
It's a lot,
so you can't tell me what actually happened,
it's a lot.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
But not to discredit anybody's reality. And true.
Right, and so, we don't know, you know what I'm saying. I think, and that makes me, and it takes me back to the whole Deshaun Watson thing, right? Because it's it's the same thing, right? It is the same. It's the same thing. It's
we gotta see what's gonna happen with that.
He had 20 plus right now, 20 plus cases, and it's
plus,
and it's bro, I don't know. I look at somebody like Deshaun Watson, and again, this is just my opinion, but I look at somebody like Deshaun Watson, and I feel like, I don't know. Do he ever have the need to really do that? Pro athlete. It's easier for, and this is a good segue into the question, the very last one, the feminist one. But anyway, because we may as well. We talking about this. But anyway, I hope that there's peace surrounding women who either made the accusations or if things actually did happen. I don't know. Again, it's a weird scenario. I try not to have too much of an opinion about stuff like that because I wasn't there. Shit, I ain't see him drop nothing in the cup.
True. I feel like it's fault on both ends. If I'm a married man, why am I inviting women up to my hotel room and why are they coming?
But that's a different world,
It's
a different world.
I've been watching that though.
Different world.
Yeah,
That's funny. I haven't caught up. I
it's,
haven't caught up on different
I
world
started
in a
from
minute.
like season 1. It's so interesting. Anyway, that's different. Go ahead, jump to the next topic though.
Nah, Gerald. I had to think about it for a minute. He was like, you don't know rock. I had to think about it for a second. He had to describe it a little more. Ralph T was his favorite father figure. That's funny. You know who Ralph T is?
No.
He don't know who Ralph T is. So to segue to the next question.
Unless that's the grandfather.
I think that was the grandfather. Okay. Are feminists misleading society?
Ooh. RP convo.
I want to know your thoughts.
Of course they are.
Obviously, if there's any women in the chat, not to necessarily say that you are a feminist, but please chime in.
They all are.
Are they?
Every woman protects every woman, just like every cop protects.
Do they?
Cop. I have yet to meet a woman who has like woman bash.
So are they misleading society? Ralph T was the daddy.
He was Rock's daddy, which would have made him like the kid's grandfather.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, he was a good actor too.
Okay.
Okay, so back to the topic.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we get this world of everything being okay. And I'll just say that.
Elaborate.
Well, it's okay to do this. It's okay to do that. It's okay to do this. It's okay to do that. But no one's really saying that. Like, you usually will see I would say the male to say it's not okay. You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
Like the man, blah, 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 would be like, no, I'm gonna put my foot down. We can't do X, Y, and Z.
I saw a video the other day, and basically it was a woman who was married. She had children, and long story short, she got divorced. She left her husband, and the guy who was doing the interview, he asked her why, and basically she was basically saying that she had a lot of single feminist female friends, and they were in her ear. She was a stay-at-home mom. Uh-huh. They were in her ear, saying stuff like, very funny. She was basically saying how they were in her ear saying stuff like, oh, you gotta ask permission to go to this place, or you gotta ask him for money, or you.
I hear you.
Right. So long story short, at the end of the day, she said that she wishes she would have never taken advice from her single feminist type friends. Like, she wished she would have kept listening to her grandmother, who was married for 20 plus, and they stuck it out, and they fought through the hard times, and they still was married, and this and that. And she was just very vulnerable, and was able to express that she made a mistake. She was aware of it, but her single feminist female friends almost single-handedly ruined her life. But let's go to some of these. Who has this comment? What Mary said? Mary said, whatever you focus on is leading. If that show up as a woman for you, so be it.
But it's okay.
Balance. She said balance is everything. We need our men and our women that can acknowledge men in their majesty, could potentially operate in balance of nature and how that shit works.
But wait. Now stop right there.
Okay.
I completely agree with that. But what we see in society is not that.
Alvin, funny. Go ahead.
I mean, society is pretty much telling us the opposite of what that. It's not a balanced situation.
It's not. It's very imbalanced.
Right, and it's very female dominant.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't get upset at what's happening, right? And so that's where everything's okay. So when everything's okay, who's going to tell women that it's not okay, right? And so it's funny because I was watching another podcast the other day, and they're pretty much like, by the time, I would say, 10, 15 years from now, so like 2035, right?
Okay.
We're going to see more single women between the ages of 25 and 35, 25 and 40 than we ever have seen because of the female dominant whatever. And this is based off of their research, right?
Okay.
Because the way that the world has shifted is that like they want to be the breadwinners, they want to be the dominant species, they want to be this, but then you also have men who are not going to settle for that. So you can be the breadwinner, but you're not going to dominate me, even if you do make more money, right? And because it has to be some type of man, have to feel like some type of like control of something. So if we look at that and we look at those statistics that they put out, what we're leading to is a demise, which means that feminism is causing us to cry. Red pill feminism is calling us to rule
Red
society.
pill rage.
But like when you look at the stats, though, the same way that you look at plastic surgery, like most women now are in shape and blah blah blah, but everybody else is getting surgery. But at the end of the day, that plastic surgeon can't help you fix the inside of your body because you naturally have not done anything to fix that part of your body. So I'm more healthier as a fat person who works out than you are as a skinny person who has just sucked out the fat and repurposed it somewhere else. And it's gonna, in the long run, it's gonna help me a lot more than it's gonna help you. So these are things that we should also be considering because BBLs are also on the rise. But like, let's be honest, like, are you actually checking for that? We talked about it last week or 2 weeks ago. No, last week.
Yeah.
On this episode that's coming out, what can you do for me as a woman besides give me sex? Outside the bedroom, what can you give me? That's the honest conversation. How can you keep me entertained?
Women get mad when we ask that question.
But how can you keep me entertained? You can't. If you can't, what are we doing? Why are you wasting my time?
You know, I find it funny. I've heard a lot of women try to explain what they bring to the table, and for most cases, a lot of them, I think they kind of miss the point a little bit sometimes, like, you know, and a lot of them always include sex in the, you know, I bring bomb ass this and this and that. But for me, and I think and I hope for a lot of men, like, we really just want women at the end of the day to just be our piece, right? Like, all of those other things just kind of naturally comes with it, right? Like, you know, the sex, if it's good, and, you know, the love and the care and all of this. But at the end of the day, we really just want to come home from a long, hard working day,
chill,
and be able to, you know, chill to a standpoint of, I don't have to argue with you as soon as I get home, or I don't have to come home and cook for myself, or, you know, just shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That gets lost by the Bayside sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, where am I placing my value? I mean,
no, that's a great question.
Mary
right?
just asked that question.
I see it.
Oh, okay.
That's a great question because at the end of the day, that's a conversation that needs to be had where it's like, what is, what's the question about black men? What does black masculinity and that stuff look like?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about
black men. But go ahead, because this is a personal question. Where is your?
I mean, where am I placing my value in a woman, or is that what you mean, Mary? I mean, so for me, again, I ultimately desire or want a woman who, at the end of the day, can be my piece. Who's very independent in a sense of knowing her value and what she wants to do, and I think I've never been like huge on like looks necessarily. I mean, I like a cute girl, like, you know, I like a girl who's sexy in her own way. But a lot of I guess the word I'm looking for is I can't think of it right now, but I don't know. I value a lot of things. I have a lot of like if I had to say what's one of my like biggest like red flags or whatever. Like, I have a few, but like one in general is like I don't like a woman who projects her insecurities on other people. Right. So like for me, that's always been like a turn off to me, because we all have insecurities of our own as human beings. But like when you're not trying to figure out how to Your life partners. No, I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. And so I think I said this one time, and Mary was around. Mary's in the comments right now. Whenever I meet, this is just me personally. I don't know how some of the men feel, or how you feel, KJ, about what I'm about to say. But so for me, I always feel like men are always the prize. And that's not to say that women aren't the prize in themselves either. I'm just saying when you think about it from, sometimes it just has to happen. Like, when you think about it from a standpoint of men being created first, right? And women coming from our rib, quote unquote. It's always kind of felt like, it's an honor for you to meet me, or it's an honor for you to be welcome into my life, right? So I'll explain it to you this way. If I met a girl, let's say I met a girl on a dating site, right? Yes. So I know who I am. I know my value. I know, what I'm saying, what I'm trying to do in life, et cetera, et cetera. I meet a girl on a dating site. She swiped right. We matched, et cetera. I reach out, we set up a date, right? You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not trying to, in my mind, this is how my mind is operating. I'm not trying to impress her at all, right? So it's almost kind of like, I want to know about you. I want to know if it's worth my time to even allow you to be a part of what I got going on. Not to take away from any dopeness that you consider yourself to have or anything like that, because I don't know yet. That's why I'm having a conversation with you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think my mind just kind of like operates like that, I guess, from experience or whatever the case may be. But it's a good segue. It's a good segue into this next question, so we can kind of get on our case a little bit. But what is male masculinity in today's era or today's society? What is it?
It's complicated.
That's the word you're gonna use?
That is exactly the word I'm going to use. I think so. I also think about this because I also heard this earlier this week. It's hard for black men to figure out what masculinity looks like for them because of the fact that only thing we've ever really seen was white masculinity inside of America. I'll say.
Say more.
So everything that is given to you or that is displayed for you to see and is portrayed for you to see is a push from media. So generally commercials, TV, and if you didn't get those ideas from there, it's generally someone else who's copied from commercials, TV, kind of like the hat, right? So the other day you were like, oh, where'd you get the hat from? Not realizing that my hat doesn't have a brim.
I knew it didn't have a brim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I had to turn around and make sure. But
I was wondering why you did that. I was like anyway.
Because I was like, oh, does he know this doesn't have a brim?
No, I did.
But to just go off that, right? I seen a hat in a commercial, in a beer commercial, and I'm like, that's a fly ass hat.
Really?
Where that hat come from? And so I specifically went looking for that hat. And for Father's Day, I wanted that hat. So I told my family, hey, look, I need a hat like this for Father's Day. And that's how I got the hat. So it was a gift from my family. But that's just how it popped up. So if all of our ideas are pushed by somewhere else or the mass media, what does it actually look like for male masculinity to be inside of America as a black male? It's kind of hard, right? And so I was talking to my partner earlier today, and it was just like the importance of a barbershop for black men should not just be there. It needs to be so many more other places, right? And the importance of a barbershop is so a man, a black man specifically, can go and vent and let out his frustrations without or with other people to judge him or criticize him and tell him, no, bro, that's the wrong path. Yeah, that's funny. Or to even try out little things to try to find out your own identity inside of a world of people that look like you.
Okay.
We've had less male barbershops like that. With COVID, it's been even more or less. There's nothing on TV that promotes or celebrates pure black masculinity. What does it look like? It's complicated. Tell me, change my mind. That's my new thing. Change my mind.
No, I won't try to change your mind. I definitely hear everything you just said and don't even necessarily disagree with it either. I thought about this when I saw this question earlier. I never heard the word masculinity growing up. I'll say from the time I knew big words, so from 10 to from 10 on up to even throughout high school, I never heard the word masculinity or masculine like at all. Like I just heard like a man, like, you know, you want to be a man, like grown man. So I always felt like, you know, especially when I became an adult and I started like, you know, living on my own, all that type of shit. Like I felt like a man, like, you know, but it wasn't until recently I know what the word means now, obviously, but I had never seen it be used so much in today's society. I wonder when did it like make this like burst through or this like jump, you know, because
Feminism popped through.
Oh, when feminism popped through, he tried to sneak that in. So when feminism popped through, that's what, and that's fair. That's
it was a need to say it. Like, you gotta call it something. You have feminism. What's the opposite of it? And this is not even like to be a dig or to like just say like it's created from the opposite, right? But like,
I definitely so to answer the question though, right? So what is male masculinity in today's era? It definitely gets misused and abused a lot in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I think even just from a red pill perspective, right? So a lot of dudes who claim, quote unquote, that they are red pill, really don't know what the full understanding of it is sometimes, and they like abuse it, thinking that they need to be like assholes to women and, you know, this and that and that. So to answer that question, I think that sometimes they just don't really know their homework or even what that looks like from their own inner self to be a masculine individual, right? So like I have family who will swear up and down, like, you know, they'll like, I'll be arguing with like family members or, you know, specific cousins, and they'll be like, I'm a man, don't play with me like that, boy, what do you mean? But you just really made a decision that wasn't very manly, but you consider yourself to be a man, like, you know. So it's just even the thought process sometimes around it. It's like, when were these things being like, what's the definition of being a man? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody ever told me, like, you know, you'll know when you a man if you know, you got your own car, you got your own house, you take care of yourself, you take care of your responsibilities, you adulting. Like, you know, nobody ever told me when I will know when I become a man. Like, you know what I'm saying? You see that shit in movies. So when will I know? Like, you'll know. like you'll know. Like, you know what I mean? So it is a very interesting time that we're living in right now. And it does feel like it feels like a fight for power, you know, especially between men and women. And even more so, it feels like that with black men and women. It just feels like we're trying to, you know, it's like we're doing tug of war, like, you know, like we're trying to pull somebody in the mud. And I don't know why it's that way. I don't know if society has.
I think it's the way that it's set up, because it's like a lot of people have in their minds that I can't get up unless I step on you, right? And so instead of us coexisting as two dominant races, like a black dominant female and a black dominant male, one person has to stand on top of the other person.
You gotta die to yourself.
Kinda.
Can you be with a dominant woman?
Depends on what dominant means.
So let's say let's use the household as an example, right? Let's say she likes to run the household. Can you be with a woman like that?
I don't know what that means. Like, if she likes to pay the bills, make sure that these things are tidy and the house is clean and no dishes left in the sink after 9 o'clock, then sure. Like, why not? Well, I mean, why not? But if you mean by like she's gonna tell me,
so you know how we used to say like, well, men, growing up, I always used to hear, what this my house, what I say goes. Either my grandma and them used to say that, or somebody, but I used to hear that.
Someone has to like override someone at some point, depending on what it is, if it's a logical situation or not.
Right. So but in my mind, it's always been the man, right? It's always supposed to be the male.
Fair.
it never is supposed to be the woman. Like, now, obviously, women in a household. Let's say if you're married and you have kids, there are certain ways that you can play off of each other, right? So like there are certain things that I can't do with kids in the house that, you know, the mother of my children can probably do a little better. Like, you know, the nurturing type, you know. I don't know. Society says women aren't supposed to be dominant. I don't really necessarily like a dominant.
Society also says that if I change my pronouns to a she, I can compete against females who are not as strong as me.
Don't even get me started.
So really
don't even get me started on that,
says,
bro.
But like at the end of the day, anyway, different conversation.
How do you did you see that though? Since you brought it up, did you see the even not even just the weightlifting?
I saw the weightlifting one.
Bruh, did you see the pageant one though?
No, I saw the weightlifting one, and I had a full tantrum in the house, and we had an honest conversation. I would just say we had an honest conversation about that because I felt like I was like, come on, man, like that.
Yeah, a transgender woman won the
female
transgender female won the she won the she won the Miss something. I forget where she was from, but the pageant, you know, the little that's always been for women. Anyway, I randomly came across that. Okay, but no, let's even stand to this though. But so masculinity, is it a way to prove you're a man to other men, right? So like, again, when I think
it is. I think that
okay.
So even if we take it like a nature or animalistic like viewpoint, right?
Okay.
Most males flare up at other males. You know, if you look at birds, like I have the better colors. I make the larger sounds. My chest is bigger. You look at the lions, my roar is louder. You look at everything. It's men versus men competition when it comes to it, right? So that's where it's just like when people are like, oh, what is it? You got a pissing contest. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have a pissing contest. He's a man. Like, why would I back down from another male's challenge, which I know that like, and we are naturally competitive. So if we come in the same space and we need to have that contest, who says that contest is bad? Me and you go back and forth.
Especially if you think you can beat them.
Right. I mean, we go back and forth all the time. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's like, all right, bro, you got me. Sometimes it's like, all right, you got me. But at the end of the day, it makes us better. Like, we have an understanding from a different viewpoint of where you're coming from and where I come from. And then we just mutually just like, all right, cool. At the end of the day, all right, cool. You know, you need to do X, Y, and Z. And so, but then we're back. So it's not necessarily a bad thing to always have these situations.
Is it a okay, I agree with you. I agree with you 100% actually. And I don't even looking at the question, I don't necessarily think that it's a bad thing to use masculinity as a way to prove your manhood to other men, because sometimes if people look at you soft, how are you going to prove
that you're not to
them that you're not? Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if you lack in masculinity or whatever the case may be. I was talking to somebody the other day, maybe this is one of my white homies, but he was saying how we was talking about basketball, and we was talking about the game. Shout out to the Phoenix Suns. Chris Paul finally going to a finals. Yes. I'm excited for him.
He needs to win.
He do. He need one, man. 16 years in, he need one. But it ain't gonna be easy, I don't think, especially if Giannis come back. But I
think Giannis is out.
Yeah, he ain't tear nothing though, which was good.
He's a big boy, and that's a knee.
Yeah, bro, it was awkward to watch. I kind of did a little like, you know. But yeah, we was talking about basketball, and he was talking about how people used to try to treat him on the court because, well, one, he's a white boy, and then two, he just wasn't vocal enough, so he had to start being like, you know, either showing them with his play or just being loud, like, you know, like with Luka Doncic, like, you know what I'm saying, like people look at him as like a baby face, like a young, but he a beast on the court, like, you know what I'm saying. He got to figure out that whole maturity thing though, because he been getting all them texts this past season. But anyway, yeah, I think it is a level to, especially us for black men, to always have to continuously prove our masculinity or our manhood in a way, because it can get challenged. and if
Right.
we're
And so I think the biggest thing is just that when another man sees me, do you recognize I'm a man? I think that's where it comes from. That's honestly when I see other men, and when other men see me, do you see me as a man?
I think you just answered Mary's question. So she said, "Why prove anything? Is that a symptom of low self-esteem?"
No, it's
or
not.
low worth?
It's just that
Yeah.
as a man, I want to be recognized as one, especially against those who look like me, right? So if I go, like, I'm not gonna say, oh, well, I'm welcome anywhere, but I can always go back to the hood.
Fair.
It's facts. And I know they will see me as a man. Like, they're not gonna like, oh, I'm a punk so and so, I'm a blah blah. Like, it'll just be like, oh, okay, so you back? Why you back? Kind of.
Right.
It'd be like, all right.
Now,
you know.
if that was to happen hypothetically, right, and you go back to the hood and people did address you that way, that mean before you left, they already seen you that way, so they never looked at you as a man to begin with. So somewhere along,
I would say,
I don't know, bro.
I would say this that you know, like
How's that different than you coming back and then I'm just not saying it at all?
Well,
though?
it depends on who's in the hood.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But,
Every hood look a little different.
But still, like even when I tell my coworkers, right? Because sometimes I do like professional development on the west side of Chicago, and they're like, "Oh, you're not scared to walk around?" And I tell them like, I am more comfortable walking around these young black men who are standing on these corners and looking this way than I am walking inside of this work building often.
Bro, I was at a country club today. I had a meeting out in Medina, whatever that suburb is. And it was, I felt very, I saw one black dude and an Indian dude. and everything. I told you, I felt like when I texted you earlier, I felt like I was in Get Out, bro. It was cool. Like, you know, I don't go to golf country clubs every day. Like, you know what I'm saying? He like, oh, this is where you want to meet? I was a little like, bro, you want me to drive 45 minutes all the way to come? You know, at the end of the day, it was cool. Like, you know, I got what I came for, to lock it up. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it was just weird. It was interesting to feel so out of place when I'm so comfortable with who I am as an individual. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I completely get that. But yeah, for anybody who, you know what I'm saying, again, new in the live or just watching us, period. Two vegetarians eating chicken. It's your boy, Mr. Lingo himself.
So, man, who else got something to say? Your boy, Fly Sweater KJ.
Make sure y'all follow us on Facebook, IG, Twitter, TikTok, 2VEC Podcast. We also got a YouTube too, man. Go like, comment, subscribe. We got about 25 visual episodes on there, or maybe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do. Yeah, we excited, man, about being here, broadcasting, being able to use What's in It for the Black People's amazing platform that they got going on over here. It's their anniversary tomorrow. It's happening 6 to 11 a.m. It's going down live tomorrow.
So good at that.
Yeah, I know, right? One of these questions I was in. One of these questions I was intrigued by. And we just gonna jump right back into the female portion of things. And this is funny because we had a prior convo. Anyway, was slut walk good or bad for society? And you gonna have to reiterate to me again what the slut walk is, because you saw how I responded to it. I was like, anyway, was that like a walk of shame? You know how you like getting in with somebody you technically didn't really want to. You walking back to like the dorm or the crib, like, you know what I'm saying, on the bus.
That morning walk.
Yeah, that morning walk back to, you feel me? Yeah. So anyway.
I did one of those and they thought, you saw it? It's all like happy.
Yeah. And they skipping and shit. Yeah. That's hilarious, bro. That's so funny. So was slut walk good or bad for society? And I will let you take the lead on that.
If you guys don't know what the slut walk is, in like 2016, 2017, Amber Rose, she made it more of a pronounced walk where she and other females came out to celebrate body positivity and however they felt, and they dressed the way that they wanted to dress, and they went out and they walked down the street as kind of like not a formal protest, but just like a positive walk to say, like, I am here, this is my body, I'll take control. I think it was the beginning of the female movement.
You think that was?
I think that was it was already on the rise, but I think
Okay.
that kind of pushed it over to make sure like they were like a staple at the top, like my body, my control, my blah blah this. Because then after that, or like either Me Too was bubbling, or after that, surely like Me Too popped really heavy. After that, Bill Cosby.
Yeah, it did just kind of come out of nowhere. But anyway, continue.
No, but it's always been like a bubbling thing. So with that being said, like that's just kind of where like it came from.
So you think it was bad for society?
I think that the overall perspective became no, I don't, because I talked to a female and she said that it's so much more than just body positivity.
Okay.
It's about those people who have been raped and have had other issues as females to kind of take back their control and said like it's okay for me to do this, right? And so when you look at that, to change the conversation as opposed to like, oh, you were raped. Well, what were you wearing, right? So to change that narrative, as to say like, oh, it's unfortunate you were raped, like, and place it on the person who actually did the act instead of blaming the female for the act being done. That makes sense. Her. So like I said, all the controversial topics come up, but at the end of the day, it's always something to gain from it and the other side. So I think it's a good, but I also think that people have taken it too far. Like kind of like what you said about the red pill guys. Like sometimes they take it too far and it's just like, come on, bro, like that's not a real red pill.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that being said, it's kind of like it goes both ways. Like, so I think that for a lot of it, it is very positive, but I also feel like some of it, they could have kept it.
So I find it. I won't say I find it interesting. So I saw. I was watching somebody podcast, and they did a video about, and maybe you remember this, but there was like an Indian guy who worked at like USC or something like that. He was like a TA or a professor, or one of the two. Anyway, long story short, he was at a bar, and this girl was like hitting on him or whatever, and one thing led to another. They got in the Uber, went back to her crib. He cracked, left. Next morning, LAPD was at his crib telling him that he had raped a girl. Now, in his case, he got, quote unquote, very lucky because it was footage of the whole thing. So the footage from whoever his attorney was, he was like, bro, go find footage because I'm not pleading guilty to something that I didn't do, right? Yeah. So they found footage of inside of the bar. So she was the aggressor inside of the bar. She was like, just making her move basically, but she was very aggressive with it, and then they went outside of the bar and they met like one of her friends or whatever, and she was like doing like little gestures behind his back while he's talking to her friend, like basically he finna crack type, you feel me? Right. And so they get in the cab, they leave, and then the judge saw all of the video footage and then dropped all the charges. I guess I bring that up because one, I never understood, and that goes back to the whole walk of shame thing, right? So like I never understood women as individuals because I have friends who the same thing has kind of happened to, but if we didn't have
footage, the male,
if we didn't have people around like who were there the same night type shit as witnesses, like it could have ended like bad for these individuals, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I guess I never understood why women felt the need to do that, and obviously I can't speak on that because I'm not a woman, but I just never
be speaking a lot about what women.
I know, but I'm just saying I never understood it. Like, it's like I don't know if it's like a thing. Like like I'll put it to you this way. Like if I ever like met a girl out like at a bar or whatever concert or whatever, and the whole scenario was like switched, it would be kind of what it is for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to feel, I guess men and women look at things differently when it comes to sexual, like, interaction and intercourse and that kind of thing. So,
but does it come with the territory though? Because like they just want to be and do what a lot of men do. sometimes.
Oh, right. So that's the thing. That's why it can't be the way that women are trying to force it to be. Like, we have to be the lead as men. Like, we just have to be. Like, it doesn't take away from women as a whole and who they are, but they're just created to. And women hate this word, but they're just created. They're just created to be submissive, bro. Like, I don't really know what other way. And women really can't stand that word because they you feel me, related to stuff like, you know, I ain't nobody's slave. I ain't about to be this. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Because I had this conversation with a friend.
And we can finish it when we come back.
No.
We about to take a quick break. You know what I'm saying? We can finish it when we come back. Yeah, I know. We troubleshooting over here. You feel me? What's in it for the black people? You know what I'm saying? 2 vegetarians eating chicken. We'll be right back. You feel me?
WIIFTBP.
Broken screen? Crash system? Are you in need of spyware or virus removal from your computer? Well, contact RPC Computer Repair in South Shore and let us help you with all your computer repair services and print needs. Need office or print production services, copies, scans, fax, or even notary service? Then stop by and support RPC Computer Repair and Print Shop located 1741 East 71st Street in the 71st Street corridor, newly revitalized South Shore areas, and let RPC be your one-stop shop, where we believe RPC is your PC. RPC Computer Repair is also a UPS access point where you can drop off and pick up your important packages. So let RPC be of service to you. Call RPC Computer Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. through 6 p.m. at 773-966-4457. That's 773-966-4457. Visit RPC at rpccomputeringinc.com for more information.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
Ascension.
Coming from where I'm from. Every season's hot where I'm from. Seems like everybody got a op where I'm from. Niggas barely make it to the top where I'm from. Coming from where I'm from. Still fooling. We done lost a lot where I'm from. Still watching for them niggas trying to plot where I'm from. Cause everybody trying to make it out where I'm from.
Look, where I'm from, you gotta decide your own outcome. When niggas keep the peace like King and still move like Malcolm. Get it by any means as long as income is the outcome. Hit that stop button when they mouth run. Damn, straight bullets through the skies that powder babies just like talcum. Heartbroken mothers pray to God and ask them how come. You kill one of mine, you gon' get outdone. Say yourself cause Batman ain't gon' save you here in Gotham, where everybody grew up with a hoop dream. That ain't work, so now that brother out here trying to move peas. Shoebox stash and try and stack it up for that new V. Scat packs, Hellcats, SIT, that new Jeep. Ballin' like a school team. I get gone off one of them cones, stay in my zone, no 2-3. RIP to all my dogs, this Hennessy hit concrete. Free my boys behind them walls until they see us all free. Till our day come, we gon' keep on ballin'. Chillin'.
Coming from where I'm from. Every season's hot where I'm from. Seems like everybody got a op where I'm from. Niggas barely make it to the top where I'm from. Coming from where I'm from. We done lost a lot where I'm from. Watching for them niggas trying to plot where I'm from.
Cause everybody trying to make it out where I'm from. I'm from the city of Foe now, folks in mode now. Blocks they strolling while the cops patrolling. Or they in the trap trying to whip that baking soda. Kids gotta eat, gotta make payola. Trying to survive in the windy city of Shy, where even if you got a job, you finesse on the side. Cause they steady raising taxes and the rent's getting high. It's getting hard to get by, you feel that pressure apply. Got some weight on your shoulders and some stress in your chest. Eyes bloodshot red cause you ain't getting no rest. I feel your pain, but you can climb out them depths. I know it's hard stacking bread, paying off them debts. But stay focused and maintain and keep going. And watch the ones that you keep the closest. Never leave your circle open, cause a lot of niggas out here serpents. Snakes in the grass lurking for certain. From where I'm from. Every season's hot where I'm from. Seems like everybody got a op where I'm from. Niggas barely make it to the top where I'm from. Coming from where I'm from. We done lost a lot where I'm from. Watching for them niggas trying to plot where I'm from. Cause everybody trying to make it out where I'm from.
What's good, beautiful people? We back, two vegetarians eating chicken. It's your boy, Mr. Lingo himself.
It's the man who always got something to say. It's your boy, Fly Sweater KJ.
Again, man, we appreciate y'all being here. This is our first live episode. What's in it for the black people? You know what I'm saying? It's been a great time thus far. You know what I'm saying? We already hyped and amped about the next one. You feel me? We got the jitters out the way. You know what I'm saying? We good and Gucci. We in here. You know what I'm saying?
I like the unison, though. See how we match?
Yeah, you know, I walked up to KJ. He had the MJ joint on. I had the Whitney joint on. I'm like, I ain't even know, you feel me, you was going to do that. You feel me? We talked one time today. You feel me? I'm like, hey, you there yet? Boy, I'm running late. I'm in traffic. You feel me? So we here. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Yeah, man, we got some more topics that we going to close out the hour with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all tell y'all people about us. If you follow What's in it for the black people already, man, tell them we got some new radio personalities on. You know what I'm saying? We're part of the team. You feel me?
Thursdays.
Yes, from 3 to 5. We're going to be rocking with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Broadcasting live. Again, two vegetarians eating chicken. But what's up, KJ? What you got for us?
Do we look at sex work wrong?
Do we do what?
Look at sex workers in the wrong way. Right? So,
elaborate.
Interesting enough, with so many more people making money off of OnlyFans and prostitution.
You better not be subscribed to nothing, boy. Anyway, go ahead.
No goddamn OnlyFans. What I need to pay for OnlyFans for? Pornhub free.
My ex videos, man, myself. But anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, yeah, prostitution being the longest working profession that we can even go back and date.
Okay,
do we see that wrong? Like, motherfuckers make money off OnlyFans,
bruh.
Like,
and
money.
You know what's funny? Like, not to cut you off, and we gonna continue it, but it'd be funny hearing women jokingly be like, oh, I'm gonna start me an OnlyFans. They be getting banked. I'm gonna start me an OnlyFans. They making money. Well, technically, you know, you really do want to start your OnlyFans. Like, probably. You know what I'm saying? So just go ahead and do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I be seeing little things that they post on IG kind of lead. Look, this look like this leading up to an OnlyFans account. But anyway, it's just funny. It's just funny. Stop sugarcoating and just do it. No, I don't know. I think I'm gonna let you finish show.
No, go ahead.
Go. I think it depends on who you're talking to. Like, you know, do us as a race, as a nation, look at it in the wrong way, or are you talking about us as men?
I'm just saying people as entirety, right? So, like, do we look at it as the wrong way?
I think it can be looked at as the wrong way. I feel like we had who was that we had on a couple weeks ago. Was that Cam?
Cam.
Oh yeah, man. What did we call that episode? You what? Yeah. Make sure y'all go check that episode out. We got it up live on YouTube. It's called You What. We had a pretty dope gentleman on, a writer from Chicago. Cam, my homie Cam. He just had some interesting takes. You know, he was
subscriber.
He's a vivid subscriber. He was subscribed to a couple OnlyFans, and no knock against him. He explained it about the best I heard somebody explain it to why he actually subscribes to things like OnlyFans and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. And everybody got their own preference, but I think we kind of touched on people like, or he touched on like people basically scamming who are on that platform necessarily, like, you know what I'm saying? Right. So sometimes the people who are partaking in it, so people who actually have an OnlyFans account, if we just gonna use that as an example, like, why you gonna have an account and then still be trying to scam me for, you know, money? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, send me the...
You're not giving out the real content.
Right, send me the real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't be on here trying to, like, catfish and do all of this. And it's like, yeah, but Cam was hilarious. He said some girl tried to scam him. And he filed a complaint. He called the manager, like, I need to speak to the manager of this OnlyFans account, please. And she sent him some, you feel me, real content. He was like, thank you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think it depends. It can be twofold, right? So, but I feel like it can be looked at in the wrong way, because it's like, I don't necessarily disagree with women who have started OnlyFans, because it was the way the world went for a while, and still is trying to climb back out of. That was probably the only option to get, you know what I'm saying, income.
Would you seriously date a woman?
Would I date a woman who has OnlyFans?
Yes.
Depends on what she doing on OnlyFans. If she just showing her feet, I don't get no fuck. Like, you feel me? Like, but if she out here, you know what I'm saying, showing a little bit more than that and this and that, I don't know if I could do it, because it's just like, I don't know. I'm not really the jealous type. Like, if I was at a club or something and I went with my girl and somebody like came up, try to holler at her, and I'm like at the bathroom and I walk up and she talking to some dude, I'm not finna trip about that. Like, cause if we ain't got enough trust and I think that we got going on, if you feel to the point where you need to step out and get another number and do that, that cool. That just means you ain't supposed to be my girl anyway. You feel me?
Okay.
So I wouldn't date a stripper. Nah, I couldn't, bro. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just something about knowing her profession, I guess. Like, you feel me? And being at strip clubs and knowing what that looks like and how it could potentially go and this and that. I don't know.
No, the weird thing is, I talked to my partner. She was pretty much like, like, I consider getting you a stripper. I was like, why? Like, I don't really care. Like,
for like your birthday, or she just randomly wanted to get you a stripper?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
It came up in conversation, and I was just like, that's like, I'm not, like, I'm the guy who pretty much go to the strip club for the drinks and the food, and not the women, pretty much, which is weird as hell.
No, that's fair. I mean, people in Atlanta go to what's it called for the wings. So
where?
Lemon Pepper Lou. Really? Yeah, Magic City. Yeah, people go to Magic City for the wings. For the food. I had them. They pretty good, bro. They pretty good. I'm not gonna hold you. Yeah, they pretty good.
That's what's up though.
They pretty good.
I'm
so yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that's a whole nother world, the adult entertainment world, and you know, some people are cool with it. You know, like if there was a conversation around, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna do me long, you can keep doing you too type shit, and she just like on the rotation and she part of the team, then like, all right, that's cool. I wouldn't take her seriously though.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll fuck with her. I just wouldn't take her seriously.
So would you ever it's not even would you ever anything, because you already answered it. I think the issue with that stuff is just like, you get the money, but you have like moral and like every other thing that's like suicide. Because after you do porn or OnlyFans, like, you can't really go back to the world.
Okay.
For like a normal, like, 9 to 5.
People gonna always see you as the.
Yeah.
Think about the whole KD thing. Did you hear about that?
When he like invited the girl out.
Yeah.
I heard.
But he
told me about it.
Yeah, he approached. I know it's funny. He approached that because of her background, right? So being a porn star, he approached it because it's like, you feel me, this is what you do. So you know what I'm saying. This is who I am. So I'm gonna make the assumption that I'm finna crack, like, you know what I'm saying. And she let him know at the gate, nah, you ain't cracking. You feel me? And he like, oh, all right, well, shit, we can still go out. y'all could come to the game, but I'm gonna invite another little chick. You feel me? Just so you know that I'm cracking. Like, you know what I'm saying? And she took offense to it. It's like, how you gonna take offense to that? He just letting you know that he got options. Like, I
think that the fact is she had the hopes that he would take her serious,
but he didn't. And so that's what I'm saying. And so it's
mass suicide when it goes to these promiscuous careers, because even if you don't take the moral stance, like let's say like I'm dating a girl and then I find out she had like OnlyFans and her OnlyFans showed everything, then like at that point
I can't take her serious.
Right.
Nah.
So it's like,
and that's why a lot of women who are in that world, it's hard for them to find somebody to settle down with.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why would I want to put myself in a situation? I can't see myself starting a family with you. Like, you feel me? You gonna stop doing this? You gonna stop having OnlyFans?
Even if she does stop doing it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's still hard to come back from. Oh, so you saying if she
stopped doing OnlyFans, and then, or she stopped doing porn, and then like,
I probably still wouldn't.
No.
Nah.
Okay.
It'd be too hard. I think because I just know, like, you know what I'm saying? It'd be hard to be like, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily, because everybody can change. It still won't change what your ass used to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I used to rob people, you feel me? So if I used to rob people, then I ain't robbing people no more. Like, people still gonna remember me from like being that stick up dude from the hood. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was Omar the hood, boy. He was Omar the hood, boy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Long snub nose 38. Like, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting, bro.
So it's moral suicide for financial success.
Ooh.
At the end of the day, that's what it is. I'm going to kill I'm gonna morally kill everything I blah blah have for my financial success.
Does that mean they ever have morals?
I think you do. I mean, I would say that I think some people might fall into it out of desperation. All right, so like let's look at it. On a certain podcast, a lot of the females are between the ages of, we'll say 20 and like 24, right? And a lot of them like have OnlyFans. They're very pretty. They're at the height of their career. And the question is always, do you think a dude's going to want to settle down with you when you're like 30 to 35?
No.
After you just had this career?
No.
Right. But they're so young and naive that they think that they will. And it doesn't matter what blah, blah, blah has happened and what their history used to be. You know, so it is what it is.
A lot of women, most women who are in that world, I won't say, you know, all women, but most women who are in that world are super independent, like to a standpoint of like, I've heard some of them be like, oh, well, I'm just going to freeze my eggs. I ain't got to worry about no man. I don't need this. I don't need that. I can still start a family.
You still need a man to put something in the eggs.
Exactly. So, but you know, it's like sperm donors and all that type of shit. So like, that's easier to find, I think.
I mean, that's fair.
I don't know. I think
one parent household, because
and so that's even going back to the whole feminism part of things, where I think women just really do get it
wrong. Yeah,
I mean that's for lack of better words.
But is it their fault because that seems to be more of a societal push, right? And it's okay to be a woman with a high ranking career and to not have a husband and to do X, Y, and Z, and that's great. But back when I was coming up, it was not okay to be a cat woman. Because a cat woman could have easily been a high-ranking, successful woman who just never settled down and who was just lonely and just had cats. Right? Your cat woman doesn't have to necessarily mean that she's a low wage or like a retiree woman who just can't fend for herself. It's just like she never found love at the end of the day, and so she has all this like, only thing she has to love her is cats.
Yeah.
And baggage, and so, yeah,
it's interesting.
It is. It's very interesting at the end of the day. So,
yeah, no. So I was thinking about. I don't think I used to see on TV, people or women who were perceived as like cat women. It was always displayed as them just having like a bunch of damn cats running around, and like, you know, I've never been in somebody's house who's had more than one cat. I think I would freak out if I've been in somebody's house and they got like 5 and 10 and 20.
Okay, I've never been to someone's
20
house
cats.
who had like 5 cats.
Nah,
So,
bro.
like,
One is at least 2. I've been in somebody's house where they at least got 2 cats.
Okay,
Like
well, we're on the same boat.
more than that, it's like, bro, why you got all these cats in here? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like I
Like,
said, we're in the same boat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. While you grabbing that next topic again, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all go follow the TikTok, the Twitter. You feel me?
Yeah.
We need to come up with some unique TikToks. Kids love TikToks. I'm not really I'm not really into the whole TikTok
you
thing.
like to dance though. So
That's true, but I never really know how to work it. I don't know how people be like really that creative. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't look at it.
They copy the dances, so like the dances pop up on one side.
Ah, got you.
Best at the dance.
I never knew that. I never actually tried to do one. Anyway, yeah, follow the TikTok, follow the Facebook, 2 Vegetarians Eating Chicken, follow the IG, 2VEC Podcast, the number 2 VEC Podcast. If you want to be a guest on the show live with us, broadcasting from What's in It for the Black people, make sure y'all hop in them DMs. Yeah, I said it, hop in them DMs. You know what I'm saying? We appropriately. Don't be coming in with that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we would love to have y'all. You know, we would love to have y'all on the show and talk it up with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, or you can send us an email to vegetarianseatingchicks, CHIX @gmail.com.
Yeah.
But we got a few more topics, and we gon', you know.
So many love gurus.
So many love gurus.
Who do you listen to?
Who do I listen to?
So you got the Kevin Samuels. You got.
I've never listened to a whole Kevin Samuels live or episode of anything.
What about the other dude, Stephen Cole?
So,
Alpha, Omega Guide.
Obviously, you know that I listen to a lot of Alpha, Red Pill.
I listen to them too.
Type,
I mean, it's always great to have a great perspective.
I agree. And I don't take some of even the people I listen to. Sometimes I feel like they be saying anything. Sometimes depending on the topic or what's being talked about. Right. So Kevin Samuels, I never really got into his content. I've always seen like snippets of it, like, you know, or depending on if I think he funny more than anything.
Yeah,
I think
he's a character.
I think he be hilarious. But I like Steph Cole. He's a YouTube contenter. Who else saw this? Dr. BOA. I think I sent you something about him before.
That's super alpha dude.
Yes, it's super alpha dude.
What do you call him? Super. What is it? Super.
Beta simp manginus. beta simp manginus. Yeah. So I listened to Steph Code, Dr. BOA, FedEx Fearless. He's decent. I like him.
Okay, I think I came across one of him.
Yeah. There's one more I listen to.
Fit and Fresh.
Fresh and Fit. Yeah, they interesting, whatever they call them. Fresh and Fit. They interesting. And then it's like a light skinned dude. I can't remember his name. Alpha Male Strategies, AMS. He's interesting. He the one that always clap his hands and rub them bitches together. every time his show come on, somebody was like, "Boy, that's gonna start a fire one day." But yeah, it's a bunch of them out there. Like you just said, it's a bunch of them out there. But I feel like you had a question to that, or you was just curious.
No, I was just curious.
Yeah,
because I really don't have a follow up with that.
Got you.
It's just pretty much like who you follow and why.
Yeah, it's a. So for me, I follow them because I had to get back into the dating world. You know, after I was in a long term, you dig. You know, but your boy, Mr. Lingo himself, out here single, ready to mingle. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I had to relearn it all. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. I had to relearn it all, and it's funny because it never left me. It was always in me. But I had to like bottle it up, you know what I'm saying? Because I was off the market, you feel me? So I had to, you know what I'm saying, be rid of it, you feel me? So anyway, now that I'm back in the field.
That thing on the shelf. Yeah,
it was on the shelf, you know what I'm saying? I had to go blow it off a little bit, you know, wipe it off, get the dust off of it, you know what I'm saying? And now I've been back in the field just trying to figure out this thing called dating again. Like, it's completely different because I was dating when I was, you know, 16 to 25. You You feel me? I was never really in no like serious relationship in that time span. Like, you know what I'm saying? At least maybe they thought different. But anyway, after from 25 to 30, I was off the market. You feel me?
Fair.
And now that I'm back, it's like it's a whole nother ball game. You know what I mean? It looks completely different. And then COVID happened, and so it became the era of date naps way more exclusively than it ever was. Like, you know, I mean, Facebook even got a damn date nap. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I had to start figuring out unique ways to look at female nature from a different perspective than what I was used to, because it was only one female I was talking to. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know.
Still could listen to it because it still applies.
It does apply. Like, you know what I'm saying? But see, that's the thing. I wasn't. And so that's why I fucked up at, because I wasn't listening to nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? That's probably what I was. I probably was. And it's so funny to listen to some of them now and hear certain things in myself where I used to be like, damn, like, you feel me? I was doing that. I was straight simping, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's so funny now because I talk to a bunch of my homies, and watching them, guiding them, and sending them stuff like, yeah, you should probably watch this, bro.
Right now,
like,
bro.
you know what I'm saying? But you can't force it though. Like, I don't force it. I don't force it on nobody. You know what I'm saying? I just give them opinions and tell them these are probably people you should check out when they come to me for advice, or if they struggling with something. You know what I'm saying? You should probably check this person out. You know what I'm saying? But it's cool to see them doing it, and then some of the shit working for them. Like, you know what I'm saying? I talked to my homie before I got here earlier, and he went on a date last night, and it was just kind of dope to hear him tell me how the date went, and he followed like my little strategy that I told him to follow. You feel me? And it was a success, you know. So it's like, good. That's cool. That's good for you, bro. Like, I'm glad that worked out for you. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So anyway, yeah, it's good to, even if you is single or if you are in a relationship, it's just good to be aware of how to, without overthinking it, without trying to do too much, but just know your role and continue to grow from within yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that's my 2 cents.
I don't think it's a role. I think that it's
It's a role. We play a role. It's a game, bro. It's all a game. It's all a game.
There you go.
It's all a
There
game.
you
You know
go.
what I'm saying?
We with that.
We're a character. We all
with that.
characters. You know what I'm
With
saying?
that.
We trying to get to that master board. You feel me? So
masterboard.
I don't know what your take is, but you know.
I mean, I always like to understand the other side. So I try to understand both sides, right? So as much as I may clown and dog like feminists, like I'm tapped in and I understand, or I try to understand what's going on in that realm, as well as I try to understand like the red pill, because like it is what it is, right? And so it helps me come up with my own logic of how I should be mixing and doing things when it comes to like whatever it is with like females in general.
You think women know what we want?
No, because sometimes we don't know what we want.
You think we don't know what we want more than women not know what they want?
I think we can guess what women want more than they can guess what we want. I think because I would say that as predictable as they want us to be, we're never really that predictable. And they overcomplicate it, which makes it completely not what we want. Because generally it's a simplistic feel that we want.
I can agree with that. I think we
Instead of
very...
right?
Yeah.
Being like this big masquerade, right? And so it was brought to my attention because of Father's Day, and I was just like, well, why don't they have these big ass like celebrations and this big ass this for Father's Day and this big ass that? Like, it's so blah, blah, blah.
Bruh, Father's Day was weird this year, but anyway, go ahead.
But at the end of the day, it's pretty much like it was brought to my attention, like, bro, but like, if they had a big Father's Day celebration party, would you go?
I would.
I was like, I won't. I probably wouldn't.
I probably think you would, just because we ain't never had that shit.
Right. But if we had it, would you go?
I probably wouldn't go every year, but like it would be nice to get one at least one of these years. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when we gonna get, you feel me?
But still, it was just like, nah, I'm more of like a simple guy. Like, you ain't gotta do nothing special. I don't eat no steaks. I don't need to have nobody. Like, I can do my regular thing. Just like show me a little appreciation on this day. Like, it doesn't have to be huge. And so it's like, well, why are you complaining about there not being enough Father's Day, like expensive commercials and blah, blah, blah? And it's like, well, that's a good point.
bro, because we don't get enough credit. Like we really don't. I saw one of these. I can't remember her name, but it was one of these celebrity.
But do you want? But like I don't need
no commercials and
I
all
don't
that
need
type
to
of
be
shit.
like,
Like
but
you know
at
what I'm
the end
saying?
of the day, I feel like I don't want to be highlighted for something that I'm supposed to do.
Right. So this example was interesting, right? So and I'll share my opinion on that what you just said. But this one of these actresses, she was basically saying how she was telling her husband, I think they're married. She was telling her husband how basically she called him a babysitter. Like it was like, oh, it's nice that you are babysitting the kids while I go do this or do that. First of all, he ain't no damn babysitter. Them his kids. So you can't babysit your own kids. Like it's like, why would you even like? So it'd be that type of stuff that get thrown on us. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't need like my ex partner. Like she'll say something like oh you're so, now she'll be like, oh you're so dope with them or you're so awesome. I was already that. Like you know what I'm saying? So it's just like. What's your point of like, and I don't even respond to the shit because it's like, I was already that, like, you feel me? Like, what you trying to tell me that for? Like, I don't really get you feel me? What you really trying to do here? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe she realized how great you were, and so now she wants to give you the flowers when flowers are.
That's fine. That's fair. You know what I'm saying? But it's and that's the thing, right? We, as men, especially black men, as fathers who are out here doing what they are supposed to be doing, like, you know what I'm saying? We necessarily don't really need praise for that, but sometimes we get so much lack of it, you feel me, that sometimes it'd be nice to just be like, you feel me, like have something, like you feel me. Motherfuckers go all out for Mother's Day, bro. They go all out. Even the same with Valentine's Day and Sweetest Day. Like we might as well don't even have something that's called sweet. We don't get treated like that. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't remember the last gift I ever got on Sweetest Day. I don't think I ever got a gift on Sweetest Day.
Wasn't it like recently created though?
It's been around for at least some years now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I don't know.
I remember hearing about it when I was young. But like,
bro, a girl stopped talking to me because I didn't get her number for Valentine's Day.
For real?
We weren't even official. We was just dating. She never hit me back. So I had her back. Like, you feel me? Yo, I assume that you ain't talking to me because I ain't tell you Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, like, you ain't tell me Happy Valentine's Day, this and that, woo, woo. And I'm like, all right, say less. We weren't really supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, doing what we doing anyway. But anyway, it was interesting. She literally stopped talking to me because that's a prime example of, like, would you would have did the same? Would you would have told me Happy Sweetest Day? Would you would have got me a gift for Sweetest Day? And it's funny, I thought about it too. I was like, should I get her something for Valentine's Day? And I was like, hell no, I don't care about this damn day. Like they don't care that much about Sweetest Day. Like yeah, it's just interesting. Nah, it's to each his own. You know what I'm saying? To each his own. But it's very interesting in the world that we live in today, how so many things are influenced. We was talking the other day about the whole women, and you touched on it a little bit earlier. Women in the whole body, you know, trying to improve. What my homie say on build the bitch. What he say aside? Okay, with the Cam interview, it's so true though. Like literally, that's what it is. Like you know what I'm saying, and it's like, how do we get out of our own way of what we're so used to society telling us that we need to do to be this, to be that, to look this way, or whatever the case may be. I don't know. We got a long way to go, but you know, all I can do is just keep doing my part. I don't know.
Fair, sir.
Anyway, I'm just talking shit. You got another topic for me?
I mean, you know, we always got topics. So like, let's think about the movie. Let's think about.
Tink. Who say that? Sade. I'm a sexy tink. She's so bad, boy. Anyway,
so thinking about movies, right? It came to my attention that like there has never been a female like hero role in a movie.
A black one? But I mean, because there's definitely. I mean,
there are not many female. All right, so like when I think about, but Wonder Woman didn't have to be like. I'll say this, right? The journey to become a hero or a superhero inside of every male-dominated movie, right, is you have to have this continuous struggle, right? Okay. I think Wonder Woman is the exception. Like
yeah, I think she's about the only one. Ain't she?
You have to have something, you have to lose it. Mulan. You have to have something, lose it, find your strength, gain it, control it, and then propel to become this great, like, like person, right? So if you look at like Batman, or if you look at like Iron Man, like he lost it all. You look at like Spider-Man, he lost his granddad. Like everybody,
Punisher.
The Punisher lost his family.
They fucked his family up. Yeah. Anyway,
whole
he came back with a vengeance though. But yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like many women, things like that.
Okay.
So what does that say? So the interesting part about that is that, like, do you think we're gonna see more movies that try to promote that, because they don't really sell well? They don't go over well.
How did Wonder Woman do? I think she did pretty good. They came out with another one, didn't they?
With the first one, it was done really well, but with the second one, it didn't really do as high. As
The second one was kind of weird to me, but anyway.
They didn't think it wasn't gonna do as well because of the fact that, like, nobody really, like, it wasn't really invested.
Yeah.
And so as much as feminists try to get away from like everything, it's still based around like male, whatever, because it's still a male circle. It's still a male conversation.
Right.
It's still a male.
There's a lot. Like I'd be intrigued by a Storm story. I used to fuck with Storm. Holly Berry introduced that to me. I mean, even the cartoon Storm with the white hair, she's bad, boy. On X-Men. she was bad,
she
boy.
Like Holly Berry.
She did, right? So that was like the perfect first woman to play it, really, technically.
Yeah.
But it ain't really a lot of female superheroes though. They was all a part of a team. Like,
yeah. I mean, if you take the X-Men out, then not really, but it's enough of them by themselves, period. But it's always had to be a team though, right?
like Mystique. I would like a Mystique story.
That would be interesting.
She's very interesting. Yeah, I would like a Mystique story.
But she really wouldn't be a hero. She'd be a villain.
I take that. I take it as a villain. I mean, Loki was a villain, and then they got a whole Netflix now.
That shit dope too.
It is kind of raw. I fell asleep on it yesterday because I was tired, but it is kind of raw. And I wasn't ever really a huge Loki fan. I mean, I like that he kind of did his own thing. There's a series on Netflix too, Ragnarok.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually kind of decent. It's in a different language. How they like,
slow,
it's very slow. It's very slow. They just came out. They came out with another season.
Hollywood. Wait. Hollywood's a horrible storm. Are you serious right now?
Who said what?
Hollywood's a horrible storm.
Oh, they said Hallie was a horrible storm.
Yeah.
I mean, to each his own. I can understand why somebody would say that, but obviously for us males, that's we just saw Holly.
I don't think that could be a better storm. I don't think any at that era when she played Storm, which was probably like late 90s, early 2000s.
No, it was early 2000. Yeah.
Early 2000s.
There was nobody who could have done it better.
There was no black actress who could have easily been in that role to say that like.
Mary said yes. She was a horrible storm.
Mary, you trash, bro. Easy. Hey, stop playing with Holly.
No, I mean, I totally. From an acting standpoint,
who could have been better?
Mary said Angela Bassett. I can see that. She did Tina. She
can't
killed Tina.
Everything though.
She can't. She was
everybody wants to take one. Like everybody want to take Denzel and put him in every role. You want to take Angela, put her in every role. Yes, they are supreme black actors. They can't be everything. Who else?
I don't know. I mean, that's probably the only other person I can see. Angela. I know that's funny. Was her acting that bad though?
I don't think so.
I can't remember.
She had a minor role at that.
I might have to go back and watch.
Like she had like 4 scenes. That
the one with when she did what's the name told her ass to go. Yeah.
And then she was on the plane giving like the partial prep talk.
Yeah, she didn't really have that many.
Right.
Huh.
And then like when Logan first came in, she gave like a little 2-second whatever as she babysit the kids. Like she really wasn't there that much.
Doesn't sound like they hating a little bit on Holly, huh? Holly Berry, Holly Berry, she walking like a rock. Oh no, we'll see. No, I don't know. I definitely could see somebody like Angela Bassett playing that role. But they was toying around, or at least I don't know how true these rumors are with what's her name, old girl who was Black Panther sister. They was toying around with her being the next Black Panther.
But she ain't want it.
She ain't want it. She ain't want to do it. That's fair.
Yeah, I didn't think she wanted it. I heard that she didn't want to do it.
But I don't know what they gonna do because they already got another one coming out. I think
they figured it out. I don't know if she's gonna be for a long time. It was rumors that she didn't want to do it. Lupita Nyong'o could have easily stepped up.
She's so beautiful.
She is.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like did Killmonger really die though?
He did. He didn't want to come back. He made it evident they don't want to bring him back.
Got you. That's fair. I guess. I don't know. But I definitely, to answer your question earlier, it would be nice to see more It would be nice to see more women roles. In the comics, Black Panther dies and the sister becomes Black Panther. So maybe she is gonna be Black Panther. I think that did happen in the comics.
I mean, but they're not like following the comics though. Like most TV series, they don't really follow the comics.
But they ain't got no choice but to follow it on this. Who gonna be Black Panther fan? You can't have another.
Who gonna be the villain though? Who gonna be the villain then?
You can always make up a villain.
Come on. You can't just go randomly make up some villain from like
man, this is
weak ass blah blah blah.
It's the Marvel world. They definitely could do that.
I mean, the same way that the Avengers in exactly the same that the Avengers, like nothing really tied up and was the way that it worked out.
But it is an order though. Somebody put out the order not too long ago.
I'm not saying the order that was put out. I'm saying that they didn't go strictly based off of how
according to the action. No, that's fair.
Was placed out.
But there's one of those scenarios where they might actually have to do it. Been reading X-Men since they were.
What does reading X-Men have to do with how they did acting? Tell me that.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I get it. You're a true fan, and listen, I love X-Men too. But at the end of the day, like,
who's your favorite character?
Logan.
Yeah, that's fair. It was Wolverine for me too.
Yeah,
just because he was able to heal himself and
Beast was cool too though. I was definitely a Beast fan.
Who was the better Beast? The one that like 3 Beasts. It was
like 3 or 4.
The first dude. I can't remember.
I don't even want to say who I think the better Beast is because I don't even know their names.
That's fair. That's a good point. Nah, Logan was definitely one of my favorites. But they gonna have to follow that in Black Panther because who else gonna? It got to be the.
They can pick one of the women. Oh God, what's their name? The Warriors.
Oh, that's true. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know.
I mean, or they can do with what's his name? The dude, M'Baku.
M'Baku. Oh yeah, that nigga was cold.
He wasn't really that cold. He was just funny.
I think I just liked how his whole.
He was just funny because I seen him in other acting things, and he's not as great. But M'Baku, he's a dope person. I definitely would support it because he definitely fit the role.
She said her portrayal wasn't Storm player. Don't know what that was. That was Halle Berry. Halle Berry. That's all that was. She knew off the strength of her name. She ain't have to do that much acting, boy. Just give me these little 3 scenes right here, like, we'll be cool. I'm pretty sure that was the conversation around that. I don't know. Anyway, that's hilarious. But I don't know. I think the whole entertainment world has always been male dominant in a way that I don't know if it was so dominant that it canceled out. So even when you think about, right, if we talking about black actresses, and Halle Berry was one of the first black actresses who had like the shorter hair, right? So then when other ones came along, it was a little who?
Loretta Devine.
Okay, I mean,
Different World
okay, I mean, yeah, that's fair. Okay, so light skinned black. Well, I'm just saying though, because you kind of have to, right? Because when you think about somebody like, Beast is the husband, Gambit is the lover, the real G. That's funny. So you think about somebody like,
I like Gambit.
Gambit was cool with them cards. Yeah, he was fire.
Looked like a drunk though.
Yeah, it was only one movie he was in, I think. I can't remember which one.
Yes, he's only in one movie.
Yeah.
He's always been in cartoons.
Yeah. Nia Long, right? So yes. When you think about she didn't really have.
She killed it for the 90s though.
She did, but it was a little harder. It was a little harder for her to get certain roles, I want to say, because Holly was still. Even somebody like Jada Pinkett, right? Nobody could ever really.
So interesting enough, right? And I'm glad you brought this up.
She wasn't getting like the big roles in certain movies that Holly was getting. They was getting a lot of the black movies.
What do you consider? But I'm gonna say this: Nia Long in the '90s was in every iconic black movie.
Oh, she was. She
started off in not Boys in the Hood. What's the other one?
Love Jones on her first one.
No, it was one before Love Jones though.
Jason Lyric.
Then it was Love Jones. That was Jada Pinkett.
Jada Pinkett was Jason Lyric.
Love Jones.
Thank you.
And then it was like Best Man.
Okay.
And then it was I just watched like all of them. I literally just went on like Netflix and just watched like 4 to 5 black movies.
So Best Man, Love Jones.
I can't even think of the other ones.
And we just talking about Nia Long.
Yep. But all of them are like a big staple, and you just progressively see her looking better and better and better.
Oh man, she didn't. She didn't age.
To not even say like how she looked, like she killed it for that period of time that she was doing her thing for like a 10 to 12 year span. Like she definitely held it down. Now, was she in
She did.
crossover movies?
That's the word I was looking for.
Into
Thank you.
Deep. She
Thank
was
you.
also in that. Into
Yes,
Deep.
that's the word I was looking for. She never really was in anything crossover.
But like, what's the point when you're?
I'm just
a
saying
major star,
they had that one woman that they needed. Hollywood. They had the one token light skinned black woman that they needed. They didn't need to.
But why? Why would you? Like, why do I care what Hollywood thinks when I'm making more of a cultural impact?
I ain't saying that she did care. I'm just saying when Holly came on the scene,
Soul Food.
Soul Food. Thank you. They immediately had that one token light skinned black woman that they didn't have to use anybody else. That's all I'm saying, because it was harder for them. Let's say they wanted to cross over at some point.
Lisa Bonet, they had it's a couple.
Lisa Bonet, really? What movie was she in?
Danny Newton.
Okay.
Like, I'm just saying, like, you want to name like beautiful black women who were like back then, like these are beautiful. Like what?
That's fair. I'm just saying I was using the short hair thing as an example because Holly had short hair. Yeah. I'm just saying she was that one that we saw in all them damn crossover movies. It was never nobody else. That's all I'm saying. At the end of the day, that's how she got X-Men. That was my whole point. That's how she got X-Men. That's why didn't nobody else play that shit because she was Halle Berry and that was the Hollywood movie. It wasn't no like black movie for us. It was the Hollywood movie. They needed a Black Storm because Storm was black in the comics. So just saying. I'm just saying.
It is what it is. I don't care.
Right. So my whole point was Hollywood has always been a male dominant entertainment. You feel me? So it's harder for us to get, going back to your whole point with the single, the women superheroes, it's gonna always be harder for that to happen.
But it's not harder because what I'm going off of is when they tried to do stories, the only one that actually happened the way they wanted it to was Mulan.
That's fair.
So even when they tried to implement small stories,
did you see the new one?
Yes, I did.
I liked it. It was good.
It was all right.
It was cool.
No, it was right. It was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
But even when they tried to implement female dominant stories outside of being princesses, it really didn't happen. It just wasn't happening. And even now, it's still not happening. And so they came out with Wonder Woman during the pandemic. It really didn't happen. It didn't happen the way that they thought it was going to happen. Mulan happened because people were anticipating it.
Yes.
But outside of Mulan, like, it's still, like, pushed to the back because I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to say it. Nobody wants to really see that because that's not the true nature. And so what I'll get back to is that, like, the true nature of a male story is that women are princesses and they're given things and they are naturally born to be in this position. Men are naturally designed and pushed to earn your way to the top. And that's where the hero story starts and ends, right? So that's why I lose everything because everything's taken from me. Now I have to redefine myself as a man and now I have to work my way up to become Bruce Wayne, to become Iron Man, to become the king of this, right? And so it's just a natural story that's recreated over and over again and nobody really picks up on, but that's what it is. And it still plays out that way. So
women get all this shit given to them and then they still want to be masculine and be on top.
Right. You said it. I mean, yeah. They get what they want, and so, but it becomes a competition. And it becomes a role type of situation. And what it looks at is like no one wants to like the word submissive. It's nothing wrong with the word submissive. It's the weight that you personally put on it.
No, I agree because I heard not to cut you off. I heard some women. Don't forget your thought. I heard some women even use the word submissive in the same sense as like a slave. Like how can you do that? Slave didn't have no damn choice. Like they was basically getting whipped. If they wasn't working, they was getting their ass beat. Like ain't nobody saying I'm about to beat you. I'm saying you being submissive into who I am as a man, who I'm created to be, and continue to be who you are as a woman. But if we are in this partnership and we are in this thing together, these are certain ways that we can continue to, it's almost kind of like coming to agreement. You knowing your role, me knowing mine, me not trying to overstep you in any way. This is just how, what you say the other day, this is just how the universe has made us as men. Like it's just the way it is. That don't mean it's a bad thing or you have to like, you know what I'm saying, feel like it's me putting you down or you gotta listen to me and do all that. I mean, I want you to be a part of my program. If that's something that you can't be a part of, then that's cool. Go on about your business. But anyway, finish your point.
No, I was just gonna say that like I had the conversation with a friend, and she refused to say that like she was submissive to her partner, and so I was just like, but he does X, Y, and Z, and you allow him to. She was more accepting of the word, I will follow behind him or I will let him lead me. But when I was like, well, what's the difference in between him leading you and you submitting to him and his will of wanting you to do something? And so it's not even, at that point, it was just like, well, it's really no difference, but I'm not going to be submissive to, blah, blah. I'm like, but you just told me that you're going to allow him to do X, Y, and Z and that you will follow. If he was just like, oh, let's do this. And you're like, okay, cool, we can do that. So it's like, well, if you are able to listen to that, then you're submitting automatically. But the way that I put it like that, she was just like, oh, that sounds like something I can do. But the minute I was like, well, now you're being submissive to him, she was just like, oh, no, I'm not being submissive because I'm not a submissive person. But it's just the weight of the word submission.
And it's my last little point on that before we close. When we interviewed the two lovely ladies a couple weeks ago, Queen said something that caught both of our attention. She said she had to learn how to be submissive. Yes. And I think that's what a lot of some women struggle with today. They don't want to learn how to be submissive. Like, and it's like, okay, so if you want me to be the man and lead in a way, so even using old girl as an example, she was kind of contradicting herself. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like you literally saying that I can do it.
I can't see the definition though, man.
Definition. So before I finish, learn to pronounce adjective ready to conform to the authority or will of others, meekly obedient or passive, a submissive, almost sheep-like people. Just because that's the definition of the word, that doesn't mean that's what I want you to be as a human being. Like, I'm not going to treat you like a person that I have control over of. I'm talking about from a relational standpoint and how it's always been at least introduced to me. You know what I'm saying? It's coming from a standpoint of, if we just talking about a household and then I am the head of this house. That's like when my grandma used to say, I run this household. Like, you know what I'm saying? I knew that I had to be submissive to my grandma's orders. If the house needed to be clean before my grandma got back, you feel me? She say, what? Then don't use the word. It's not even that I use the word. I just think that women get the word. They take that definition literally. That's my whole point. They take that definition. They take that definition just like you is right now. They take the definition super literally, and it's like, no, I'm not trying to control you. I'm simply trying to tell you, hey, if you want to be in a relationship with me, this is my program. This is how I like to operate. Do you think you can be a part of this program? If you ain't a submissive woman and you like, nah, I can't be a part of that, then all right, cool. Then it's just really that simple. But I really think when it comes to something like a marriage, is spending the rest of your life with a person, as a woman, you do got to learn how to be submissive. The same for men. It just looks different. Like it just looks completely different than how we be submissive than how a woman is submissive, in my opinion.
That's fair.
Anyway,
closing out.
Yes. This is fun.
It was definitely a good time.
This is fun. Right. I'm excited to come back next week. But anyway, it's all love. You already know it's all love. Mary. You feel me? Again, two vegetarians eating chicken. It's your boy, Mr. Lingo himself.
It's the man who always got something to say, like it or not. That's what KJ.
Thank y'all for tuning in. You feel me? We broadcasting live. What's in it for the black people? Make sure y'all go follow What's in it for the black people on Facebook. They got an IG as well. What's in it for the black people media. Make sure y'all go follow Two Vegetarians Eating Chicken on Facebook. Go follow us on IG, 2VEC Podcast, and number 2 VEC Podcast. Follow the Twitter, follow the TikTok. Peace. See y'all next week.
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
Good shit, my boy. Y'all see us vibing, man, with the Whitney and Mike on.
Fuck me, making niggas think they can fuck with me. Stay with a small circle to ensure I stay sucker free. Peace to the niggas rockin', those that truly got love for me. To the women that be lustin' me, they dreamin' of fucking me. Lick your fingertips and rub your clitoris and let my voice bring you the climax. My raps is more real than any 3D or IMAX. Listen and digest this fly shit like Venus flytraps. Side-eye niggas that speak on my city, you Chirac.